Hi, we talk about big business versus fashionable business. Very many of us are in a space where we are caught up thinking that I want to do a trendy business. Or rather, we will talk about a business that appeals, a business that is of class, a business that gives me a standard. But today I want us to have a clear differentiation between or distinction between a business that makes you money and a business that makes you look good. Very many of us are in business that makes us look good instead of being in a business that makes you good money. And I'll borrow the wisdom of my father in what he tells me is a classic example of owning a matatu. I have nothing against the matatu business, but you invest 3 million shillings, purchase a matatu, and get an average of 3,000 shillings a day. That means your 1 million shillings basically gives you 1,000 shillings. Somebody who, on the other hand, is probably in Mtumba business, invests 3,000 shillings and makes a daily sales of 5,000 shillings. That means the return on their 5,000, on their 3,000, is an extra 2,000. Whereas your return on a matatu for 1 million is 3,000 shillings. Anyway, that is not the discussion. It's just a guideline, or it's just some wisdom that I'm borrowing. So what I want to ask us this evening is, what kind of a business are you in? Are you in a business that makes you money, or are you in a business that makes you look like you're making money? Purpose to do those business that many of us consider dirty, or many people consider dirty. My father tells me that where you will people fearing to where you see people fearing to soil their hands, please soil your hands on their behalf, and they will pay you for the soil that comes to your hand, for the mud that comes to your hands. So that becomes important. And I want to look at some key businesses that we've seen in Nairobi, and if you do the mathematics around it, these businesses are actually looking small but making a lot of money. One that we have all encountered is this guy who is walking around Nairobi hawking eggs. If you consider how much this guy makes, if in one egg, which he purchases at an average of 12 shillings and sells it for about 20 to 25 shillings, he makes actually 100% profit. When you understand the mathematics of percentages in making money, then you'll make more money than understanding the mathematics on the net profit. Because when it is percentage, that means it is replicatable and you can do it across in more repeated forms. The second form of businesses is the shoe shine guy. We've definitely seen a lot of shoe shine parlors mushrooming in every corner of Nairobi. It's an average of 40-50 shillings to have your shoe polished. Think about how much that person invests in one can of tea polish and see how much value they make out of it. You'll be surprised that one tin of shoe polish, the big size, can actually be used by an average of close to between 50 and 70 customers, that of which he actually invested about 200 shillings. So you can see the cost input in the business versus what these people are getting back is not even comparable. The third is the guy walking around in kahawa and coffee and some mandazis. A business that looks very not fashionable. But when you look at the cost of that coffee that he sells for 10 probably or 20 shillings, versus the input is actually that he has put in probably a shilling or two. And therefore 80% of the revenue that he collects from that business is actually profit. And you ask yourself then, this is really, really good business. The third is, the fourth is an example I'll borrow from a business guy I know down in my home town of Muranga. This guy invests about 3 to 4 thousand shillings every day in buying the head and the instance and the stomach parts of goats. And on average, investing 4,000 shillings, his daily input, his daily sales rather, his daily revenue is between 7,000 to 9,000, depending on how business goes. So this person is investing 4,000 and getting out of it a cool another 4,000. That means he's made 100% profit. He's on whatever he put in, he actually made the same amount of money as profit. So you ask yourself today, are you in a business that is growing you, or are you in a business that looks fashionable? I think the last to think about is Mtumba business, second-hand business. As much as there's a lot of conversation around how it has killed our industry, but it's one of those places where I have a gentleman who sells shoes in the CBD, and this guy goes to the market and each and every day gets shoes valued at about between 300 and 500 shillings. When he brings this same pair of shoes to the CBD, he sells it for an average of 2,000 shillings to 2,500. If you bargain to your best, he will probably sell it to you at 1,500. You can see out of 500 shillings, this guy actually makes an extra 1,500. So the conversation that I want us to have this evening, and the question that I want you to actually ask yourself is the business that you're doing growing you, or does it make you look fashionable? Many of us in this time and age want to do business that looks posh, business that looks complicated, business that looks sophisticated. That is not where the money lies. Money lies in a simple business. Money lies in a business that is connecting with the masses. Money lies in a business that the product you're selling or the service that you're offering is actually of interest to the majority of the masses, and that means you are tapping into a bigger market base, and that means then you're able to generate more revenues. I hope this forms some of your guidelines. Even as you may be thinking about going into business, don't just rush there to invest money because you have money to do a business. Rush there to invest in a business that is going to make you money. And remember, as I always say, the last thing that you should invest in a business is money. You need to first of all invest time, you need to invest in knowledge, you need to invest in understanding of that industry. All the best as you look out for your next big business that is going to make you big money that does not actually look like a big business. Thank you very much.